no.
Ocho Cinco, was he a quarterback?
Your ass better call somebody.
He's gone for the touchdown. Caldwell Pope. How about that one, baby?
It's worse than entertainment today.
How did he win this game?
I hope this is bleach.
Take the hoop out of the playbook, please.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the NFL Weekly Matchup. We got the two-man booth tonight. We're missing a couple. Well, for the NFL show, we're missing one. We're missing Preston tonight. He could not come to the house, and his internet is not very good. So we're going to do the two-man booth tonight. Me and Josh. We got Preston's picks too. Josh, what'd you think of the week last week? And you had a pretty good week with your picks.
Yeah, I did have a good week, which is surprising. I started kind of going against what I went with the week before. I kind of started going more with my gut instead of overthinking stuff. I was really impressed with the Raiders. Like you said in your notes, are the Raiders for real? I think they are. I think that defense is for real. And if Derek Carr, he's legit. He is. He's playing that way right now. Anyway, if he can stay healthy, the Raiders can make some noise over there.
Yeah, they definitely can. We'll talk a little bit about that. And that was funny. After the game, after he threw that, I think it was a touchdown, one of the touchdowns to get him to head. Him and John Gruden. He celebrated with John Gruden. That was pretty funny. But John Gruden, he's looking. They're both looking pretty good over there. The Raiders are looking good. Derek Carr is looking legit, and we'll see what happens there. But we'll go ahead and go through the records here. Let me pull this up. Yeah, Josh, you went 8-7. You're 15-16 on the season. One game behind 500. Is that what you got? That's right.
Yep.
Okay. One game behind 500. Preston went 7-8. He's 13-18 on the season, and I went 7-8, and I'm 14-17 on the season. So I'm behind Josh here. I need to catch back up. Josh is supposed to be the college football expert, and he's beating me in my own game here. So I gotta catch back up. But we're gonna recap a little bit of the games now. This week, we're gonna try to start instead of doing the recap for the games. We're gonna try to start doing more of the picks and talking about our picks and predictions. So we're gonna go through briefly of what happened. I had this written wrong, but Skins barely hanging on and beating the Giants on Thursday Night Football. That was a heck of a game. Josh, what's your thoughts on that?
It was a heck of a game. I watched so much football, dude, over the weekend, and then on Saturday, the Redskins defense is good.
Yeah,
is real good. That's about what I got from that game is that the Redskins defense. is good.
It was a while ago, and the defense, even though the Giants put up 29 points, I'm still a believer in the defense. But if that guy, and they went back and looked at the play on that field goal, they're saying that guy didn't. They don't think he went off sides. So that kind of could have cost them there, and the Giants definitely should have won that game in my opinion. But I'm not too high on either team, really, to be honest. I'm more high on the Dallas Cowboys in that division. Dallas looks pretty good. But let's go ahead and go to the next game. We got the Rams edging out the Colts on Sunday. I believe that was a 4:00 game, 27-24. Hey, I had that game right. Colts ended up barely getting the points there, barely getting it. I think it was 4 points. The Rams were favored by 4. Josh, what's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I had that game wrong. Thought the Rams would show out and kind of put the Colts down, but the Colts got a real deal offense now. Seems like they're getting it together, and they really surprised me there.
Jacob Eason did have to come in the game there towards the end. I don't know how much he played. I was watching a little bit of it, and we'll see. I don't know how long Carson Wentz is hurt. That's gonna affect him. That's gonna affect him if he is out. But Colts. The only reason I picked the Colts can compete. I wouldn't say Colts are good, but I would say they could compete. Rams are probably still my favorite team in the NFC behind the Tampa Bay Bucks, who are absolutely destroying everybody, even though they played the Falcons. But Colts are probably, Colts can compete with people. Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp did go off. I think he had over, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, I told Clay at the beginning of the season, he asked me Robert Woods or Cooper Kupp, and I told him, let's go with fantasy. I told him let's go with Cooper Kupp because Stafford likes to throw that ball downfield. So, and I am watching the Packers game there. Aaron Jones did just score a touchdown, so that's not good for either one of us, Josh. Aaron Jones scored there.
It was a touchdown reception.
Touchdown reception. All right, we'll take it, man. All right, we're going to get into the next game here. Next little recap of the game. You know, we talked about are the Raiders for real. Josh kind of mentioned his thoughts on that. They took down Pittsburgh in a big game. Everybody thought Pittsburgh, you know, looked really good week 1. They took down the Bills. And Josh, you know, what's your thoughts on that game and a little bit on the Raiders? I know you mentioned a little bit of it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Raiders. A lot of former Alabama players over there. Like I said in our first show that I did, my initial show that I did with y'all, I mentioned that, you know, they're my second favorite team. I'm really impressed. I'm impressed with Carson Wentz. I mean, 28 of 37 for 382 yards and 2 scores. That's good.
Derek Carr. You said Carson Wentz.
Yeah, no, my bad.
We were just talking about the Colts.
Yeah, it was. And I'm impressed with Wentz as well. But yeah, I mean, Henry Ruggs went off 5 receptions, 113 yards and a score, and that one big long play that he had. I think Pittsburgh wasn't ready for that, and they won pretty handily.
Yeah. I do agree the Raiders for real, you know, starting out the season. I believe they'll fall off, in my opinion. There is some good teams in that division. You got the Chiefs, you got the Broncos, you got the Raiders and the Chargers. A really good division if everyone plays well. I still think, even though Chargers lost to Dallas, I still think they're a really good team. I don't know yet about the Raiders. We'll see. I like John Gruden. I like the coach, like Derek Carr, but my opinion, they will, depending on who they play. I haven't looked at their whole schedule. My opinion, I think they're going to fall off. I think they will fall off, and depending on, I haven't looked. I can't even remember who I looked at, who they played. Probably not this week, but since they play the Dolphins. But don't be shocked, and this could be a prediction. Don't be shocked if the Fins, depending on who they start at quarterback. Now that's the big issue now with Tua hurt. If they come out and lose that game this week, I would not be shocked at all. But let's go ahead and we're going to move on a little bit, get through the recap here. What a game this was. Cardinals and the Vikings. I don't know what I wrote there. Cardinals and Vikings, 34-33. I ended up barely squeaking out. I think it was a field goal, or I think one of them missed a field goal. I can't remember. Kyler Murray put up another heck of a performance. Josh, you had any thoughts on that game?
Yeah, man. Kyler Murray he's something else, and the way he plays it. I mean, he reminds me. I think he's a little more elusive than Patrick Mahomes. I think some of the defensives have kind of tried to key in on Patrick Mahomes, and they're running a little late on Kyler Murray. I mean, 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. He did throw 2 interceptions, but he looked good. And I mean, the Vikings are 0-2, and you know that. They shouldn't be 0-2. They're too good of a team to be 0-2. But Arizona surprised them, and that was I think I got that one right.
Yeah, I think you did get that. I think we picked the rest of us picked the Cardinals -4. But yeah, you did get that one right. You were right because it was only a 1-point game.
Yeah.
I mean, the Vikings are going to be able to compete with some teams, you know, but you know, the Cardinals are looking like the real deal. They're going to put up points. They got Kyler Murray, who might, you know, I mean, some people was already, I mean, he might be, you know, could be a top 5 quarterback. I mean, he's really good, one of the best young quarterbacks in the NFL, and the things he does on the run, I mean, it's Mahomes-like. And I mean, it's just like Patrick Mahomes when he was stepping up, you know. And they got so many receivers over there. They got A.J. Green, I believe, who caught a touchdown pass, not catching much, but I believe he caught 1 touchdown pass. DeAndre Hopkins, who is the best receiver in the league, I think. And they got the young kid, Rondale Moore, who's looking like a weapon on offense. I mean, the kid's so fast.
That dude, Rondale Moore out of Purdue, when I played DraftKings college fantasy, man, I'd pick him up every week. That dude is a beast, man. He's showing it now, too.
Yeah, and I didn't even think about that because I used to play him all the time on college DraftKings, too. And, you know, I didn't even think, you know, just now that you're saying that, I'm thinking that, yeah, that was him. I need to start looking at him in the NFL because I think he put up almost 30 fantasy points yesterday or something like that. I mean, he went crazy. But, yeah, I mean, Cardinals really need to be talked in Super Bowl considerations. I know it's early, but they have a good young defense. They got a good offense. I mean, they don't have the greatest running back, but who needs a running back anymore nowadays? You don't really. Not many teams use much
Kansas
running
City
backs.
did one last night.
Yeah,
They
it's true.
They
Yeah.
lost, but I mean, I guess if he would have held on to the ball, they might have had a chance to win.
Yeah. Let's get into the last game here. I believe it's the last game here. Well, two more. We got the Titans over Seattle. Derrick Henry went bananas, 3 touchdowns. I did get this game right. I told you there ain't no way. I mean, I didn't. I thought they could go 0-2, but the talent they have, there's no way, and they have to stick to their game plan. But Josh, any thoughts on that game?
Yeah, man. The King Henry show is what it was in the second half and then overtime. I mean, just give it to Henry on that 60-yard touchdown run, that stiff arm that he put on that guy. I mean, that guy was well behind him, and he had to turn his arm all the way back, and then that guy just ate the dirt, dude. He didn't stand a chance. I mean, Derrick Henry, and I watched him at Alabama. He was great. He's the best running back in the NFL right now.
I agree. I agree. He's the best running back now, and I will say, in my opinion, pure run. Just watching, I love Derrick Henry. He runs them over, but if I'm watching runners, I do like. I would say, I mean, he hasn't put up all the numbers yet, but I do think Nick Chubb has a chance to be the best running back in the NFL. He just watching him run the way he cuts back. Derrick Henry just runs everybody over. I mean, he's just a Mack truck. But
The problem with Hunt is, I mean, with Chubb is you got Hunt taking some carries away. With Derrick Henry, I mean, he carried the ball 35 times. He touched it 41 times.
Yeah, and they got back to what they did last year. They kind of ran the ball more rather than they got a new weapon, got new weapons on offense, but they still need to stick to running the ball. I mean, they got the best running back in the NFL, got who's going to run over everybody. They need to keep that game plan going and run the football, and not they have to remember just because they got Julio Jones, they still need to keep running the ball, because I think they kind of got away from that. I think he only had 15 carries the first week, even though they were down. I guess they had to because they were down. That's the thing. Teams like the team with them, when they get down, it's tough to just keep running the ball. And he's not, he did catch. I think he caught his most passes of his career with 7, but he's not the
Who's
greatest.
that?
Henry. I think he caught 7 passes the most of his career, I believe.
Yeah, Julio. No, he caught 6 passes. Derrick Henry did.
Okay, 6.
Touched the ball 41 times, and he had 35.
How about speaking of Julio, how about that catch? Do you think that? I mean, that was insane. I thought it was a touchdown. I didn't watch that was crazy. I thought he got his feet in almost. That was so close.
Yeah, I mean, they showed the up close. I mean, it looked like it was in.
Yeah, I thought so too. I really did.
He had 128 yards receiving.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll open up to him a little bit.
We'll see.
Yeah,
and I like Tannehill too. So I mean, I'm not a huge guy on Tannehill, but we'll see what that team can do. Seattle's just, Seattle. I don't know about Seattle. I think Seattle's going to stay where they're at. I think they're going to be able to compete, and I think they're going to be able to go to the playoffs. But I think they're just going to come up short, like they have been. But let's go into the final game we're going to talk about here. Last night's game. What a game! Chiefs, Ravens, 36-35. Lamar Jackson going crazy. Clyde Edwards-Helaire fumbling the football. Josh, any thoughts?
Man, in the beginning of that game, it didn't look like the Ravens were going to be able to hang tight, especially with Lamar Jackson throwing the interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to give it up to the Ravens defense just as much as you do Lamar Jackson. And Lamar Jackson played lights out. That one run where he ran to the line and jumped past. He jumped in the air, that ball 25, 30 yards down the field in the air. I've seen a jump pass from Tim Tebow go 5 yards. Like, I've never seen a pass while somebody's in midair go that far. But the DBs for Baltimore, they took Tyreek Hill out of the game. He did make some plays, and you're not going to shut Travis Kelce down, but they did a great job. They stayed in the game. The crowd had a minute. Ray Lewis was there before the game. I was really impressed with the Ravens they played, and I'm just glad Kansas City is definitely not going undefeated.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going undefeated. They are my Super Bowl prediction, but I never thought they were going undefeated. And, Mahomes had to get the ball to some other people that game. Hill and Travis Kelce was they did good defense on them. And the thing was, they lost a couple defensive players too. They lost 2, I think Jimmy Smith and Marcus Peters. Those young guys had to step up. So, that kind of surprised me because I thought Tyreek Hill was going to be able to eat pretty well. But
I'm
yeah,
glad he didn't. I
I
was going
thought,
against him.
yeah, I thought he was going to be able to. And like you said, that defense, man, for the Ravens, they weren't great at the beginning, but when it came down to the end, they stepped up. Getting to the quarterback and getting those stops. They needed. And I feel bad for poor Clyde Edwards-Helaire because if he didn't fumble that football, they probably would have won that game. But in my opinion, I think they'd have won that game if he didn't fumble that football.
Look for him to bounce back this week.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe have a big game. I'm going to keep him in my lineup.
I just hate stuff like that because, some people that take it too seriously kind of give death threats and stuff for players that fumble the football. That's just ridiculous. I mean, I'm sure, it's just stupid to me. But that's why I hate that. I always hate no matter if it's the other team that fumbles the ball that I don't like, even if it was a Dallas Cowboy. I'd probably root for him to fumble the football, but I just hate to see it.
I mean, it's the same people that would send death threats for somebody who tears their ACL.
Yeah, it's just
like their first overall pick tears his ACL in game 2.
Yeah,
and then next thing you know, they're sending death threats to the strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous to me. I mean, I hadn't heard that, but I'm sure he's feeling
bad.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. But let's go ahead. That was a great game. Let's go ahead and get into our players of the week. Josh, do you have a player of the week? I'll let you go first.
Okay.
We might have the same player. So I'm
how
sure with the hat on,
Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I figured.
Well, I mean, how can you not go with Derrick Henry the way that he took over that game? If the Titans didn't have him, they wouldn't have been in that game. They definitely wouldn't have won that game. He took over the game.
Gotcha. I'm going to go with a little bit different because Derrick Henry was mine. I will say Derrick Henry was mine. I got two.
Went first. You should have went first.
No, because I knew you were going Derrick Henry. What did Derrick Henry finish with anyway? Let's see what he had. Do you have his yards pulled up? I think he had 180 something yards and 3 touchdowns. We'll just say that.
Yep, that's what it was.
Yeah. But I would say Kyler Murray, but I picked him last week, so I'm not going to do that. And I'm going to go with Derek Carr getting the win over the Steelers, 382 yards, only 2 touchdowns, but he's thrown for 300 and something yards his last 2 games. So, and especially against a defense that just led Josh Allen to, not that many yards the week before. So, I'm taking Derek Carr as my player of the week.
Yeah, the Derek Carr, the Steelers defense is not a pushover, man. That was impressive the way he played.
Gotcha. I don't know if Preston picked a player of the week. I don't think he picked one for NFL. I don't think he picked a player of the week for the NFL, but
we'll pick one for him, and we'll go Hunter Renfrow out of Clemson. We'll go Hunter Renfrow out of Clemson because that dude's playing lights out for Oakland right now.
Yeah, he's stepping up. Did he do? I didn't see him much last week. Did he? I know he did good in week 1. What did he do? What did he do this week? I didn't even see. He had 5 receptions, 57 yards. So he's becoming a solid piece in that offense. And that's a Clemson boy. So I'm sure that's probably who he would pick.
Well, we're not going to pick Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, we're not. But hey, even though for a while I thought I had it pegged. I thought they were going to be able to cover the spread for a little while, but they ended up doing it. I think they're going to get a little bit better, though. I think they're looking a little bit because I do believe Denver's a great team, in my opinion. But let's go ahead and get into the picks this week. We got the first game here. We got the Panthers at the Texans, Carolina -7. Josh, who you got?
It's in Houston.
Oh, okay, yeah, I believe.
Yeah, that's what you said. That's
okay.
What you said. Yeah, Panthers and the Panthers are playing good defense right now. I mean, that's a lot of points to be given up on your home field. If you ask me, like to be getting 7 points, I think it's a little disrespectful to them guys. I think they're going to rally around. I think they're going to cover that. I don't think they're going to win, but I don't think they're going to get beat by 7.
So you're taking the Texans with the points.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with even though Tyrod Taylor did get hurt, I don't know if he's gonna be able to play. I don't know how long he's out. And their backup quarterback is some dude I've never even heard of, a rookie, I believe. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. I don't know if you know who it was. I forgot his name. Okay. I forgot his name. I'd have to look. But yeah, I'm going to take the Texans with the points. Panthers are not good enough, I don't believe, to be getting 7 against anybody. I don't think, even though they beat New Orleans now, they did beat my New Orleans Saints, which I kind of thought would be a close game, but I didn't think we'd lose. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna take the Texans. I'm not gonna think. I don't think the Panthers are that great of a team still. Uh, Preston did go with the Panthers -7, so he's going to be the one against us. He did go with the Panthers -7. So we're going to get into the next game here. We got the I lost it here. Sorry. What was the next game? We got the Bears at the Browns. Cleveland -7.5. Josh, who you got? And by the way, and I don't know about Andy Dalton's status this week. And they said if Andy Dalton's healthy, he is going to play. But if he's not healthy, Justin Fields will play. What's your thoughts on that game?
I don't care who they play. The Browns are going to cover this. I think the quarterback controversy impairs the other quarterback that's in the game, that they're having to look over their shoulder. Now, they can say that the job is yours, Andy Dalton, but he knows that if he screws up a few times, then the heat's going to be on. So they don't have a listed like a surefire guy that they're going to call their starter. And I think that's going to hinder them throughout the season until they name Justin Fields the starter and sit Andy Dalton down. That's going to cause problems for the Bears. I look for the Browns to cover. I'm with you with Nick Chubb. He's just going to run on them, and they're going to control the clock. They're going to control the game, and I look for them to win.
Gotcha. Yeah, this game's kind of tough for me. Don't really know. I want to say Andy Dalton's can come back and start at quarterback, but I'm with you. I'm not sure how much that matters. Bears defense did look a little bit better this week. But I think I'm going to take the Browns -7.5. Browns ended up. What did the Browns do this week? What did the Browns lose? I can't even remember who they played.
No, they
beat the Texans. That's right. They did beat the Texans. Yeah, but I just think they got too much talent on the defensive side of the ball, too much talent on the offensive side of the ball. Only thing is they did lose Jarvis Landry. I think he's going to be out for a while. So their receivers are not too good. I mean, that's the thing. They're going to have to run the football. 7.5 is a lot of points.
Well, then I might start that Anthony Schwartz guy.
Yeah. Yeah, Jarvis Landry is out. They got Peoples-Jones, Schwartz, the tight ends. So
and then Kareem Hunt catches balls out of the backfield.
And you know what I'm going to do? I said I was going to take the Browns. It's too many points. I'm taking the Bears.
Take the Bears.
I'm taking the Bears. I can't do it. 7.5. I think that line's going to drop. I'm going to take the Bears. I can't do it. I think that I talked myself out of it when Jarvis Landry was in there. Give me the Bears. Even though I don't think they're great. Let's go to the next game. Oh, Preston took the Browns -7.5. So Preston did take the Browns. Cardinals at Jags. Cardinals -7. Josh, who you got?
That's a point spread. The same situation with the Texans. I mean, Jaguars are at home and they're getting 7 points. I just haven't seen anything out of Jacksonville that makes me think that they can be able to cover this. Mm-hmm. And the Cardinals, the way they're playing, and Kyler Murray, I'm going to go with the Cards and the 7 points. I think Kyler Murray be too much for Jacksonville. I think Trevor Lawrence will continue to make mistakes because continue to be under pressure. They don't have the pieces around, and I don't trust Urban Meyer as an NFL coach.
Gotcha. And I don't know how this point spread is 7, to be honest with you. You got, how was the Browns last week favored over the Titans or Texans 11.5, and this Cardinals, even though I guess the Cardinals did just almost lose, but Cardinals are only favored, by 7 over the Jaguars. I think it should at least be 10, in my opinion, at least 9 or 10.
9, I figured.
Yeah, I think it should be more points. I mean, the Jags could definitely come out here and cover because the Cardinals defense did struggle last week, but the Jaguars just don't have enough. I don't think Cardinals are looking like the real deal. This week, if it's probably going to seal Kyler Murray. I mean, not seal Kyler Murray, but even give Kyler Murray even more in the MVP conversation. He's probably going to do really well. He should do really well against Jacksonville, but you never know. Maybe Trevor Lawrence comes out here and puts on a show. I'm rooting for him. I'm hoping he does. But
Until he does, I can't pick him. I
can't either. I'm going to take Cards -7. Preston, he also took the Cardinals -7. So we're going to go to the next game here. Saints at Pats. The Patriots are -3. -3 over the Saints. Saints didn't look too hot last week against the Carolina Panthers, which I did not think we would lose, but I thought it was going to be a close game. I probably should have took the Panthers, but I couldn't do it because it was only 4. Josh, any thoughts?
So, I mean, I've been impressed with Mac Jones and how efficient he's been, but he hasn't done anything exciting as far as a big bust out game. And I think they're going to need that against the Saints. And I hate to bet against Mac Jones, but I don't know if he'll be up for the task. I think the Saints are going to throw a lot of different blitz packages at him. And I know Belichick will have him ready, but I think the Saints bounce back. I'm going to put faith in Jameis Winston and the Saints to bounce back here in Foxborough. So yeah, I'm taking the Saints plus the 3 points.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a very close game. I'm torn here because the only thing I'm worried about it's in New England. It's at the Patriots home field, but I'm torn.
It's still September though. It's not November.
Yeah. Well, I'm torn because Belichick's going to be ready for Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston did not look too hot last week, and he's probably going to throw some turnovers this week. And I'm worried, if they get to Jameis, and Jameis could struggle. But hoping everybody's down on the Saints. I'm going to take New Orleans. I still think they need – I've always said they need some more receivers over there, even though Marquise Callaway, he's supposed to be the number 1 receiver in New Orleans. They talked about him so much. And
what happened with Michael Thomas?
He is out with I think it's an injury. I think he's out with some type of injury I think he's going to be out to at least week 7.
Because he was the number 1 guy, right?
Yeah, he was the number 1 guy. Yeah, we need him big time. Yeah, I've never been a big fan of Michael Thomas, but he's a great receiver. We definitely need another receiver. That's the tough part. And the Patriots, I think this is barring Jameis don't go crazy. This will probably be another low scoring game. Patriots games have been relatively wouldn't lie. I think this week was pretty low scoring too. I can't remember who they played the Jets, and they picked off they made Zach Wilson look terrible. They picked him off 4 or 5 times. I mean, that was insane. But
yeah, that was crazy.
I think the Patriots could definitely win this game, but I think it could be a 3-point. They could win by just 3. I think it might be a 1-point game, 1 point or something like that. I'm not too sure about it, but I'm going to take the Saints +3. Preston, he took the Patriots. Preston took the Patriots -3. We're going to get into the next game here. We are going to go to the Colts at the Titans. Titans are -5. Titans at home here. Josh, who you got?
I mean, I'm going to pick the Titans giving up 5 points. I think they're going to continue to ride Derrick Henry. I think they kind of figured something out this past weekend against the Seahawks. And, I think the Titans will cover. I think the Titans will cover there.
Gotcha. Like I said, the Colts are a competitive team. You just don't know what to do with them. It's just the only thing is Carson Wentz going to be healthy this week, and they're going to play Jacob Eason. It's a really tough game. It's 5 points. I think I'm gonna be with you again. I think I'm gonna take the Titans probably by a touchdown or so. It's probably going to be a competitive game for a while. I think the Colts have been keeping it competitive, even though against one of the teams I think it's one of the best teams in the NFL and the Rams. But Titans at home. They just, got some momentum in this last game. I'm going to take the Titans. Preston, he's going to take the Colts. Preston, looking to get that record even worse than what he's been doing because we're the opposite of him. So
he's going to make some ground or he's going to fall further back.
Yeah, true. Hey, this is what he's got to do. This is really what he should want right here because he's either going to make ground and he could be in the lead after this week.
Yeah,
the way it's looking. Redskins or a football team, whatever you want to call them. I'm calling the Redskins. at the Bills, minus 9.5 for the Bills. That's a lot of points. Josh,
Yeah,
who you got?
but it's at the Bills. Man, this is a hard pick because the Redskins do have a good defense, and their secondary is getting better.
This one's really tough for me too. The last 3 games have been pretty tough for me. Thing about it is,
I'm gonna go with the Skins with that points, man. I think the Bills are gonna beat them by a touchdown, but nothing more.
I think it could definitely be a 10-point game, but I don't know. I'm not high on the Bills this year. I haven't been high, so I really should take the Skins. But the Bills, they did look good last week against a strong defense, 35-0, even though Tua's not there. And I'm not a believer in the quarterback in the Redskins just yet. But that is a lot of points. But somebody's got to get blown out somewhere. And I think I'm going to take the Bills at home, minus 9.5. That's probably a bad pick. I definitely think the Skins could win. But I see the Bills probably – you say a touchdown, I see the Bills winning by about 10. They got Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, who hadn't shown us too much yet. But they got a lot of offensive pieces. Redskins got a defense. That's the thing. They got a strong defense, but the offense, I still hadn't seen enough of them yet. Falcons at Giants. What a game we got going on here. Falcons could get their first dub right here. Let's go. Giants minus 3.5.
Oh,
hold on. First of all, are the Falcons going to be favored at all this season against anyone? Maybe Jacksonville if they play them?
No, they're not going to be favored.
Yeah,
they're not favored against the Giants. They're going to be favored against Jacksonville.
Yeah.
They play Jacksonville? I don't even know if they play.
I don't know if they do either, but I think they would be favored against Jacksonville or the Texans maybe. But go ahead. Who you got in this game?
Man, I got the Falcons with the 3.5, man. I think they found something last week against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is just too good. You know what I mean? Tampa Bay went up early and they kind of let off a little bit, started playing a little bland. Falcons found a little fight in themselves and was able to battle back and get it within a score until things fell apart for them again. I think the Falcons I think Arthur Smith can rally the troops, and I think Falcons go into New York and get the W.
The thing about this game is for me is Giants are coming off a terrible loss. They're coming off a bad loss, and most teams like that, you want to take the other team. But I think the Falcons got more talent over there. I really do. More talent on the offensive side of the ball. I think this is the first week. I think this game could definitely be a shootout here. If you're playing fantasy, make sure you pick a lot of this game. But I will say, Saquon Barkley is going to be back this week. I'm letting you know now. Saquon Barkley, he's going to get in the end zone this week. I promise you that. Saquon Barkley will get in the end zone. He will get in the end zone. He might get in the end zone twice. But Falcons have struggled with in the past. They have struggled with receiving running backs. But God, this one's tough for me. But I got to take the more talented team in my opinion. I'm going to take the Falcons at the Giants. I could see this game going either way. Could definitely be. I think it's definitely going to be. Could be a shootout here. But I'm going to take the Falcons plus 3.5. Jets at Broncos. Josh, Denver minus 11.5.
They could be minus 20, and I'd still take the Broncos. Man, Jets are bad. They're throwing that rookie quarterback to the Wolves, and he's not able to.
I think you froze. Hold on. I think you froze. I think Josh froze for a second. 1 sec. You're good now. You're good.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The Broncos secondary is way better than the secondary the Jets just played against the Patriots. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Broncos. I think they're going to cover that and cover it easy. In fact, I think that might be my survivor pick this week.
Definitely could be a survivor pick because you ain't got to cover the spread. They're going to win.
I might not have a survivor pick the way this game's going because
yeah, we might not, but I watch out. I'm telling you, Packers are going to win this game.
Did you pick Green Bay in your survivor?
Yes, we did.
Oh
we all did. Clay did too.
Clay did too. God dang.
We all took Green Bay. I ended up changing.
Why did we take Tampa Bay?
I ended up changing because everybody and their mama took Tampa Bay in that thing.
I know.
So yeah, but for me for Denver, it's a lot of points. Not a believer in Denver's offense is the thing, but that Denver defense and the Jets, this might be dumb. This really might be dumb. This really might be dumb. And I know you said 20, but oh God.
It might not be dumb. Like you said, Denver does have a problem on offense.
It's just I don't ever
Judy being out.
My thing is I don't ever like in taking teams that's more than 10 points in the NFL. So I'm going to take the Jets here on the road. Hopefully Zach Wilson can bounce back and score a couple times, but we'll see. Preston, I'm sure Preston took the Falcons and he took the Broncos definitely.
Hopefully he can just bounce. He ain't nothing to bounce back. He ain't been there. Hopefully he can bounce.
Yeah, hopefully he can bounce. Yeah. Fit Dolphins at Raiders. Oakland -5.5. Who you got?
Oh yeah, that's Oakland all day. Tua, I don't know if Tua's going to play with those bruised ribs, and if he does, he'll be out third play of the series that he gets out there because I mean he's fragile. He's real fragile, and Oakland's playing real good right now. They got a lot of confidence, and I think that goes a long way in those locker rooms, having the confidence in your players around you. And John Gruden, the way he coaches, and I think, like we said earlier, I think the Raiders are for real, and I think they cover right here.
Yeah, give me that's why I'm going to take the Dolphins. probably not a bad pick there, but we talked about all the Raiders for real. I still believe the Dolphins got a strong defense. I don't know. And the only thing I would, have a good, strong feeling for the Raiders to win by a touchdown or more is they're at home. And those Las Vegas Raider fans, Oakland Raider fans, whatever you want to call them, I call them Oakland, are legit. They tried. I mean, they are crazy. So I will say that. But I mean, Brissett, I don't care. I think this is good.
The Dolphins' defense is good, but they're going to be on the field the whole game.
That's fine. I just don't think I want to see. I just want to see it. I want to see the Raiders. Raiders prove me wrong one more time. Now they can win. I definitely think they're gonna win this game. I definitely think they'll win. But I think this is going. I think the Finns, even though they don't have a quarterback, I think they might surprise some people. Even though Tua's probably not going to play, Jacoby Brissett's probably going to play. I think they might surprise you here, and I think they covered the 5.5, maybe a 3-point game or something here. But we'll see. Preston's going to take the Raiders. Raiders are hot. This is a pick 'em here. The game of the week. We didn't pick a big game of the week, but I'll say it now. This is the game of the week. Might be the game of the year. Bucks at the Rams. Rams -1.5. Josh, who you got?
Well, I mean, in the middle part of that game, then Tampa Bay against Atlanta, Tampa Bay did show some weaknesses, and I'm going to go with the Rams and the 1.5. I'm going to go with the Rams to win. I think they're going to pull it out.
Gotcha. Against good teams like this and early in the season, I'm not taking Tampa Bay. I'm going to take the Rams also -1.5. That strong defense, strong offense they got over there. I think they're going to win this game. I really do. I really think they're going to win this game. Now that game Tampa Bay could definitely win, but I don't know. I'm not a big, like I said, I'm not a big believer taking, especially a pick 'em against good teams, taking Tampa Bay early in the season. You got the Bucks game. Preston taking the Bucks. Excuse me. Preston did take the Bucks there. +1.5. Seattle at Minnesota. Seattle's -1, only a 1-point favorite. Who you got?
I'm going to take the Vikings, man. They're going to have to get them a win, and I think they're going to win. I think Dalvin Cook's going to have a good game, and I think they're going to win. Yep.
After Derrick Henry had that game, he better have a good game to be considered in the running back conversation. He needs to have a good game, but
that's going to give him some motivation. And
thing is, he did come up wobbly a lot last week. He did get hurt twice. That's the only thing. He came up a little wobbly.
He won't practice till Friday.
Probably not. I just think Seattle's coming off a loss. That's the biggest thing for me. Seattle's coming off a loss. I think they're going to win this game. Could be another shootout, though. Could be just like we saw last week. Could be another shootout, but Seattle coming off a loss. I'm taking them -1. Preston, he's with you. He's taking the Vikings. All right, here we go. We got Packers at the 49ers. Sunday Night Football. They're back on prime time. Niners -4. The thing is, I really wish I could see this game because if the Packers lost this game, I would take the Packers all day next week because they got to get a win.
Man, the way this game is going right now, and the way the offensive line is doing against the Detroit, the way the offensive line for Green Bay is doing against the Lions, man, I don't know what's going on with Green Bay. They're not passing the ball out; they're running it. They're running it again right here, and that's really ticking me off.
Yeah, it's pissing me off too.
But man,
I should have remembered. You remember what Aaron Jones did last year in the regular season against Detroit? Had like 3 or 4 touchdowns and 200. I mean, he went crazy. He had that one good game.
Yep.
But
that's why I hope. That's why I hope Detroit keeps scoring.
Yeah, he's gonna bounce back. Rodgers will be all right. He might not get you 30. He might get the 28. He might get the 28, but he'll be all right. Who you got? Who you got in Sunday Night Football?
Man, who's the play quarterback for San Francisco?
They still got Garoppolo out there.
San Francisco, man. This is a hard pick, man. I'm gonna go with the Packers +4, and I'm probably gonna hate myself for this pick, but I want to go with the Packers plus the 4 points.
Thing is, I just don't see San Fran beating anybody like bad. I see them having close games. It's 4 points, and we're all going to be in agreement here because Preston took the Packers too. I'm going to take the Packers as well. Especially if somehow, some hell and way, they lose this game, which I still don't think they're going to lose. I still think they're going to win. If they do lose this game, they're definitely winning next week. And I know y'all are going to hate me for keep saying they're going to win. They're going to be all right, but they got to win. They got to win. They got too much talent
and
on the offensive side of the ball.
If Aaron Rodgers doesn't break 20 points tonight, I'm hitting the waiver wire for a quarterback.
No, yeah, you have to. I mean, if he don't break 20 points tonight, yeah, you have to. I agree. I do agree with that. But we're all going to take the Packers here. Packers over the Packers +4 over the Niners. But, yeah, we're not going to do Monday Night Football. Like I said, do you have a lock of the week, Josh? This is the final segment. We got the lock of the week here.
Let's go lock of the week. Let's go with the Broncos in that 11.5.
Gotcha. Who did I say the Titans were facing? Titans are
stretch.
I wrote it twice. Who was the – I have the wrong game here. Who was the Titans facing? Who did I say there?
You sent it to me a while ago. Here we go. The Titans
I wrote down Colts. Who are they facing? Did I say that wrong?
No, the Titans are playing the Colts.
Oh, that's right. They didn't just – Seattle played the Colts. I was thinking they just played each other. Okay, never mind. That's right. So who'd you take? Sorry.
I took the Broncos against the Jets.
Broncos -11.5. Woo.
Yeah, I'm going out on a limb on my lock of the week this week.
That's a lot of points. I might take another lot of points too. I'm going to take the Cardinals -7. I'm going to take Cardinals -7 over Jacksonville. I think that's a good one. I think that's just a miss line. Preston,
you're really going out on a limb there, Chris.
I am. I'm going out on a limb. I'd rather. I think that's a miss. I think the line's probably higher now. It's probably more.
It's probably going to move by the time the game comes up.
But that's fine. -7. I think that's a lock. I'm giving up the lock.
What's Preston's lock?
His lock is Raiders. Raiders. Who's scoring? Don't get in there, Aaron Jones. No, he's short. Was that Aaron Jones?
Quarterback sneak.
Who quarterback sneak? Come on, baby. Quarterback sneak. They ain't gonna do it. They ain't gonna do that. All right. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead.
Why not? If it was
because he's 40 years old.
Well, Tom Brady does it all the time.
That's because Tom Brady's actually I don't know. I'm not.
Oh, he just short.
I tell you what, if Aaron Rodgers loses this game, he's gonna be my most hated quarterback in the NFL.
I'm
Anyway.
just gonna cry. That'll put me going 0-2 in the big money league, and the statistics are not good for 0-2. But I mean, it is an
Right,
8-man.
we just went 0-2 and we came back and we're 2-2 now. We beat Lacey. We beat Lacey, Clay's girlfriend. Every time Gronk scored a touchdown, I send her a meme. Gronk kept scoring. But anyway, Preston's lock of the week was Raiders over Fins.
Oh, that's
5.5.
That's a good lock. I think.
I don't think that is. I really don't. I'm not. I don't think that's a lock now. I think they could win by 7, but I don't think that's a good lock. I really don't, in my opinion. But we'll see. My lock is who did I say? I said Cards. I already picked my lock.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, that's going to end it here. We're going to try to keep the shows within 45 to 50 minutes from now on. We'll be recording the college show tomorrow with Bryson, and Josh. Preston won't be there, so that's going to end it. Peace.